Our focus firmly on the Olympics and on Abhinav Bindra, who lost out in the 10-meter air rifle event yesterday. Joining us from Rio, our consulting editor Boria Majumdar and our group editorial director Kali Puri. We'll be going to them in just a bit. But first, heartbreak in his last outing donning the blue colours of India for Abhinav. Disappointing last show for him, missing out on a medal finish in Rio. Take a look at the journey of what we fondly call the golden man of India.
One of India's greatest ever Olympian, Abhinav Bindra's career ended with a heartbreak. But the ace-Indian shooter deserved so much more. He deserved a hero's farewell, a ride into the sunset with another Olympic medal wrapped around his neck. But it wasn't to be. Bindra missed out on his second Olympic medal by a whisker in the final of 10-meter air rifle in Rio. A disappointing final shot sealed Bindra's fate as Ukraine's Kulish beat him to the bronze medal.
So it's done finally.
Yeah, it's all over.
But it's been a great career.
Decent. I tried to do the best that I could, put everything into it, my heart, blood and soul into it. I did my best. My best wasn't good enough to win a medal, but it was really, really close.
Tributes started to pour in as soon as the news broke out of Bindra missing out in Rio. Legendary Indian cricketer Sachin Tendulkar was one of the first to congratulate Bindra on his remarkable career. Meanwhile, 2004 Olympic silver medalist Rajvardhan Singh Rathore lauded Bindra's valiant performance in Brazil. Abhinav Bindra may have missed out on a coveted podium finish in Rio, but the shooter will be proud of his Olympic career. In 2000 Sydney Olympics, Bindra failed to make the cut in the final. However, in 2004 Athens Olympics, Bindra broke the world record in 10 meters air rifle event but couldn't win a medal. In 2008, though, Abhinav stunned the sporting world by becoming the first Indian ever to win an individual Olympic gold. And after a disappointing campaign in London 2012, Bindra has finished fourth in Rio.
Yeah, it's been a fantastic journey. I've gone to 5 games, made 3 Olympic finals, which is pretty decent. Won a gold medal as well. Ended up fourth as well. So it's broken an Olympic record as well in 2004. So it's been decent. I've had a good run at the Olympics.
Abhinav Bindra may be renowned all over as India's golden boy, but his legacy will always be much more than the Beijing gold. Sports Bureau, India Today.
And here's more of that conversation with Abhinav Bindra right after that disappointment. Listen in.
Everyone was giving their best, and you did too, and it happens with athletes. But, you know, in India, we don't win medals. Maybe that's why we were sort of so heartbroken, so crestfallen, and it was so close. You just said to me off record, it was really close.
Sure, of course everybody wants to win a medal, but only 3 go back with one. So yeah, I'm the one who had to be fourth today.
Somebody has to come fourth, right?
Absolutely, somebody does.
So, Abhinav, when you shoot for that shootout, I mean, is your mind completely blank? Or was it like, how do you sort of take a shot like that?
Yeah, the body is going through different feelings. You know, shoot-offs are always lottery. So somebody wins it, somebody loses it. That's just the way it is. You just try to do a good shot. That's what I try to do, and not in the easiest of circumstances, but yeah, some you win, some you lose.
But will you look back? Will you look back to the 9.8 bar? Will you look back to this performance and say, every little drop of fuel in the tank is now gone, I've done my best?
Sure, absolutely.
I was sitting right behind you in the qualifiers, and at one point, when you shot a 9.9, perhaps in the 6th relay, I see you nodding your head, turning towards your bench, and then comes the last few 10.8s. It was wonderful.
Yeah, I said, please maybe the last 10 shots of my life, so let me just shoot them well. That's what I tried to do.
Tell me a little bit more about that, because I'm sure viewers want to know more.
Yeah, obviously I had to end up big to qualify for the final, and I just tried to focus one shot at a time and try and focus on my technique, and that's what I did, and they went in at that time.
Right, let's go across to Boria and Kalipuri. Abhinav just wasn't the best man on the day, but as he says, there's no shame in losing when you've given your absolute best and there's nothing more you can do.
In fact, I'll throw that to Kali. In that conversation, he said there are 3 people in this universe. Take it.
So, Shivani, the most amazing thing about Abhinav, as you can see in Boria's interview, is an entire nation's hope is resting on him, and he's so matter-of-factly. I did my best. I did what I had to, and then I got on with it. He said that they can only be 3, and then Boria explained to me what the difference was between him and a medal. And so we actually pulled out a hair of mine, and we looked at it, and we said, is this how much you lost by? Because it really is the breadth of a hair. And he said, no, half of that.
It was unreal, Shivani. He said 3 people in this universe are better than me. It's not that bad, is it? I mean, I was sitting there with Gagan Narang, and Gagan kept saying, ho gaya, and I said, Are, hua nahi hai, hone do. And in that hua nahi hai, hone do business, right, it was that 1-minute curse that you were actually on WhatsApp with me, and you said, we've conceded a goal. And that time he scored that 9.8. There was a 30-second curse for India. I don't know what happened. Something happened. A silver went, a hockey win went, or rather a draw went.
Right.
Something's amiss.
And also, I believe, that his sighter broke during or right after that event. Could you take us through that?
Yeah, we were actually chatting with Abhinav about an hour back for a couple of hours in the village. And in the course of that conversation, his doctor and Abhinav both told us, in fact, they were showing Kali the pictures. There's a table, Shivani, just to tell our viewers. I think we've sent you the photographs if
It's
you can
running,
show the viewers.
yes.
He was sitting on that table with his equipment getting ready, and that's when he actually broke. I mean, he sort of fell through, and then he has this cheeky smile on his face saying, so what? And that sighter had been specifically tailored for this range, and he had just one. So his sighter broke, but again, he doesn't want to give an excuse.
He doesn't want to give an excuse. He says, in sports, you just have to accept it.
Yeah.
That's how it is. And, he had been guarding that sighter. He said, I've been guarding it, it's been in my box, and I've been so careful with it. And just before my event, it has to break.
Right.
So he went with his second sighter, right?
Apparently that was never been used.
Right, let's listen into what Bindra actually said about that.
This morning wasn't that lucky. My table collapsed while I was preparing, and my sight, which I prepared for these games, broke.
What did you prepare?
Yeah, my table collapsed. Yeah. In the preparation area, the table where my rifle was sitting, it collapsed and the sight broke. So I had to use an alternative sight, which was not my ideal choice, but I still did well. Yeah, I tried to adapt to what I had, and yeah, I did well.
Right, so that was right after the event when Boria spoke to him, and then a few hours later, Kali and Boria caught up with Abhinav Bindra again. Listen into that conversation and see just how Bindra was dealing with that loss. This is surely Bindra like you've never seen before.
Abhinav, how can you tell our viewers how
I want to tell our viewers, I'm going to pull a hair out for Abhinav, only for you, okay? Here is a hair, okay? This is how narrow the difference between a medal and no medal was, right? Is that right? Or is it lesser than this?
Half of it.
Half of this. I mean, I can't even see this. From this distance, I can't see it. I don't know whether you can on camera.
It's actually some microns. I mean, try and take a pencil. Everyone who's watching, take a pencil and do a dot. That's it. That's what the difference is, right?
It's quite a lot.
It's insane. How do you reconcile to 4 years of training, blood, sweat, tears, pain, to this?
You have to accept it, accept it. I think sport teaches you to accept things. You go through some highs, a lot of lows, and it teaches you to not resist reality. I think just resisting reality would be stupid, and just accept it. 4th place, take it into perspective. 4th best in the world. It's not that bad. Better than 5th. So yeah, I did the best that I could. Put everything into it. And only 3 people from the whole damn universe go back with the medal. I mean, it's not 9 countries playing here. It's 200 odd nations, it's pretty hard.
You've had
Like Abhinav Bindra doesn't get up and go to his range at 8:45 and start training again.
I'm working to become a journalist now, so
For India today? As long as Kali...
people with the golden mic. So India's only gold medalist has to work with the channel with the golden mic. That's a given.
that's a good point.
Okay. Let me put this in perspective. We suggested Abhinav work for India today and cover Olympic Games 2020.
But Boria has killed that idea because he still wants his job.
Correct. I was about to say that I'll get fired. The next idea was, will he take up another sport? He says, no, I'm not interested. So then Abhinav says,
Yeah, I might open a cake shop. Yeah, and I'll serve my cakes at your conclave.
Yes, there will be tea sponsored at the conclave by Abhinav Bindra's cake shop. Yeah.
Nice to see him laughing and enjoying a little bit with both of you. But really, that is the question, Boria and Kali. What next for Abhinav Bindra? What does he really want to do next, short term and long term?
short term, go back, unwind. You know, he's taking the flight, taking a day off in Frankfurt, going back to Delhi, meeting his nephew, who's 6 years old, cried for an hour because Abhinav, the uncle, has lost. So the nephew gets a gift. The Walther rifle with which he shot is the gift to the nephew. So that's short term. Long term, he's planning to do a lot of interesting fitness stuff, maybe which will benefit Indian sport. And who knows? And he's already committed on record, attend the India Today conclave on 18th of March 2017.
That's right.
I think it's also too soon really to ask him, Shivani. I mean, it's just been a couple of hours. I think it hasn't even sunk in that, you know, this very focused life that he has is now over and a whole lot of possibilities are open to him. He's never thought beyond this. You know, it has been so single focused. We asked him, aren't you going to go and see some of the other games in the Olympics? And he was like, no, I have no interest in doing that, right? So it's a very single point agenda for Olympians. I guess you need to be like that to reach that level.
That's right, absolutely. Stay with us, Boria and Kali. Let's quickly run you through some of the hockey results that India witnessed yesterday. They conceded a goal with just seconds remaining to lose 1-2 to Germany in their second pool match. Germany took the lead in the 18th minute via Nicholas Vellen's goal, and then Rupandapal Singh struck the equalizer when he fired home past German goalkeeper Nicolas Jacobi in the 23rd minute. India played superbly throughout to keep the match and the defending champions in check, and also had their own chances. But as it looked that the match was ending in a draw, Christopher Ruhr slammed the ball into the Indian goal to give Germany the match 2-1. Turned out to be a heartbreak loss, really, in the dying seconds of that match. India, of course, next face Argentina and will look to get a win under their belt. After the men's hockey team, the women's team too lost their second group game at the Rio Olympics. Great Britain thrashed India 3-0 to go top of the Group B standings. After a quiet first quarter, Britain scored 2 goals inside 3 minutes in the second to stun India. They then made it 3-0 in the third quarter to take an almost unsurmountable lead. The Indian team had 2 penalty corners in the closing stages of the match, but they failed to convert either of them. The women in blue now face bottom place Australia in the third group game on 10th of August. All right, this one, especially the men's hockey one, Boria, for me, it was a bigger heartbreak, really, because 3 seconds left on the clock, and against Germany, you were going to, earn a deserved draw. Unlike the case of Abhinav Bindra, where, he gave it his all, he wasn't the best on the day. India were actually deserving of a draw, and they missed it. I don't know why they do this again and again in the closing stages. It's just that they switch off, or they believe the draw was done before it was done.
Yeah, I thought Roland had solved this problem. I mean, this disease, which I call an Indian disease. I mean, how many seconds was left in Sydney? How many seconds left in so many competitions? I thought this had been solved, but it has not been solved. So the debriefing last night, rather this some hours from now, must have been this. You cannot do this if you aim to be an Olympic medal winner. I mean, till the hooter sounds, you cannot say the match is over. Roland is a good coach, Shivani. I'm sure he'll solve that problem.
Even what Boria has been saying, this is the Olympic of micro moments, microseconds, micro inches.
Yeah. Even the women's hockey coach, Neil Hogwood, said that actually the women played as good as they've ever played. So surely performances are improving for both the hockey teams, but results matter at the events. Always the showman, Usain Bolt. Remember, he's saying that he's playing his last Olympics and he's going for that coveted triple again. But the one show that India is looking forward to at the Olympics on Sunday is the show by Deepa Karmakar, who's become the first Indian to make a gymnastics final. Listen in to this exclusive conversation with Deepa.
ये जो अभी ये कली कह रही थी, she has already created history, right?
हिस्ट्री एखोनो हয়নি मात्र मतलब शुरुआत हुआ है एज ए कोच हिस्ट्री तभी होगा अगर कुछ अचीवमेंट कर लिया
मतलब ऑलरेडी किया है फाइनल में कौन सा भारतीय जिम्नास्ट कब पहुंचा है ओलंपिक्स में
वो तो सही है देखिए मैं कोच हूँ मैं कभी सेटिस्फाइड नहीं होता हूँ मतलब होना भी नहीं चाहिए किसी कोच को जब तक ओलंपिक में गोल्ड मेडल ना मिले
बहुत हार्ड ट्रेनिंग करते हैं क्या?
वो तो है ही हार्ड ट्रेनिंग तो हम करते ही बहुत 3 महीने में मैंने प्रोदोनो वर्ल्ड 1000 रिपीटेशन किए
1000 टाइम्स
1000
वाओ
दीपा ये बताइए जब आप कल ओलंपिक स्टेडियम में थे एज यू नो भारतीय महिला कभी ओलंपिक फाइनल में नहीं पहुंचे हैं आप एक्चुअली पहला भारतीय महिला ओलंपिक फाइनल में नर्वस हुए थे प्रेशर हुआ था क्या लग रहा था
नहीं नर्वस तो नहीं था पहला पर से वॉल्टिंग था मेरा सबसे जो जिसमें मुझे अच्छा करना है सबसे ज़्यादा और साथ में इतना क्राउड था कल मैं होस्ट कंट्री के साथ थी ब्राज़ील के साथ जो फ्लोर का म्यूज़िक है वही हमें नहीं सुना इतना क्राउड था क्योंकि नॉर्मली होस्ट कंट्री ओलंपिक्स है मेरे लाइफ की इतने सबसे ज़्यादा क्राउड मोमेंट था वो और मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा और थोड़ा इतना चिल्ला रहा था तो अच्छा भी लगा हाँ सच में
वापस आऊंगा आपका फाइनल के लिए
कैसा लग रहा है?
अच्छा लगा मुझे बहुत ये मेरे सेकंड टाइम है मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा
बिकॉज ऑलरेडी पीपल आर टॉकिंग अबाउट यू इन इंडिया कुछ पता लग रहा है घर से कोई बोल रहे हैं फादर मदर क्या पेरेंट्स क्या बोल रहे हैं क्या हो रहा है
नहीं पापा लोग तो बहुत बिजी है बता रहे हमें बहुत रिपोर्टर से सुबह से आ रहे उनसे ही बात कर रहे बिजी है पर मैंने हाँ ठीक है गौरव मेरे साथ थोड़ा बात कर लिया मैंने सर के फ़ोन से हाँ बोला ये कि फाइनल में पहुंच गए अभी पूरा अच्छा करने की कोशिश करना
सो फाइनल में जब आप जाएंगी व्हाट इज योर आप खुद को क्या कह रहे हैं
बस मुझे यही मेरा चैलेंज है मैं जितना सीख के आया वो करना है मुझे जो उस दिन दिया उससे मैं अच्छा कर सकूँ
कली व्हाट इज योर एक्सपेक्टेशन फॉर व्हाट डू यू वांट टेल मी
I am happy that she is here. For me, she has done it.
So for
the glass ceiling as far as I'm.
And it's her birthday today, Deepa Karmakar. She's turning 23, if you would believe it. I hope you guys wished her.
No, we didn't, but we will. Thank you for telling us. We will take Deepa out and we will also shoot that and bring it to our viewers on India Today, Shivani.
Tomorrow we're taking
Tomorrow we will definitely take Deepa out. I mean, sorry that we did not wish her tonight.
Oh, that's okay. But clearly, she's someone who's extremely excited, not nervous at all about that final.
No, I think she's very excited and seemed very calm. In fact, later part in the footage, I guess is still downloading into the newsroom. We asked her to strike a pose and she did it in the middle of the Olympic Village. It was a stunning pose.
It was beautiful. I thought, you know, in one flash of a second, Kali said, "Can you do a pose?" And she did it.
And she was like back in the gymnastics arena, right? And it was like a 10 on 10.
That's right. We'll bring our viewers all of that. There's obviously more where that came from, that conversation with Deepa Karmakar. Boria and Kali, thanks a lot for joining us for the meantime. Just as we leave what we promised, a number of Olympians, including the most decorated Olympic athlete of all time, Michael Phelps, have been photographed with large red circles on their skin at the Rio Games. These mysterious dots are the result of a practice known as cupping, an ancient therapy where heated cups are placed on the skin. The technique, which is a form of acupuncture, is done by lighting flammable liquids in a glass cup. Once the flame goes out, the drop in temperature creates suction, which sticks the cups to the body. The suction pulls the skin away from the body and promotes blood flow and leaves those red spots, which typically last for 3 to 4 days. But athletes say they are using it to ease aches and pains. Of course, remember, recovery is extremely essential during a short span of time for these athletes. And clearly, the best in the world are using it.